Good morning, good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another Geek Tavern. As always, it's me, Sean. I'm joined by Mike
Hello.
and Aaron. And today we will be discussing Mike's recommendations, which, like you said last time, Mike, I'm kind of surprised we didn't do
I
these ones
I
already,
know.
especially for around Halloween time, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. The first and second Ghostbusters films. Spoilers for those of you who, for some reason, might not have seen those movies, but I don't think there will be many of you watching.
I would not think so.
But yes, the first Ghostbusters film, I don't remember when it came out, 1980 something.
84?
I
Or
was
yeah,
I was thinking 84.
yeah.
It basically just follows three scientists who are trying to prove and capitalize on the existence of ghosts and capturing them, and they're like a pest company essentially, like
Pet, yeah, pest control.
yep. And yeah, so it follows their story of, first of all, like the legality behind creating a business, and then they is it just like it happens at the same time, but and they just happen to be also ghost hunting at the same time, or does their actions prompt Gozer coming back?
So it just kind of starts, and they, from what I understand, um, like paranormal stuff just kind of starts happening, which triggers their interest. I'm assuming I don't think they really do it on screen, um, but then yeah, like stuff starts happening more frequently, and then that's how they become quite busy.
Yeah, just the existence of ghosts
Yeah,
and people needing them busted.
yeah.
Ray Parker
uh,
Jr.
yes. Um. So I forget. Does the film start with the thing with Bill Murray?
No, it starts with we see a librarian,
Oh,
like
that's right.
she's
Yeah.
putting all the books back, and then
And then it goes.
we don't see the ghost at that point, but she gets scared and does a scream, and then it's title, yeah, title screen and everything,
New
Yeah.
opening title music.
and then I think it goes into the Bill Murray thing.
Yeah. So that's where we're introduced to that character, which he is technically a scientist, but he doesn't seem to take
Yeah,
like anything seriously.
No, he's more of a con artist.
Yeah,
Like
he is kind of
like a
a con
scientist
artist.
who's just a con artist. Yeah.
yeah, like he's totally hitting on that college girl.
Yeah, he is it's kind of funny because he's like actually like sacrificing the validity of the experiment,
Right.
where the guy is like getting them right.
I think
He's
he's
like
saying
trying to
them. He's saying them before he pulls them. I think, if I
yeah,
remember correctly. So
yeah,
like, so he's kind of a psychic, but legitimately.
yeah, and he's just doing it to the guy so the girl is like impressed with her skills or something,
Yeah.
because he's kind of a slime ball.
He's like, I'd like to have dinner with you and talk more about this ability you have.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, how about 8 o'clock? And he's like, I was just about to say 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some obviously it's a comedy movie.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
not exactly a horror movie. I think some parts might be a little scary, like whenever it's like the crypt keeper taxi driver or whatever.
Yeah,
But
that's a little could be jarring if you're not used to visual, uh, you know, whatever.
yeah, but for the most part it's just a comedy movie about these four weird scientists busting ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then eventually halfway through the film another person joins them, but he just wants a job. He was like, I just want a nice regular good paying job. The handyman.
Does it produce a steady paycheck? Yeah. All right. I'm in.
Then I'm in.
I'll believe whatever you want.
I believe whatever you want.
It's got a steady paycheck. I'll believe whatever you say.
So the main conflict of the film, obviously, is the reawakening of a god, Gozer, the Gozerian, and inhabiting, yeah, inhabiting two characters in the film. One played by Sigourney Weaver, and the other one played by Rick Moranis, who they live in the same apartment building. I guess that's like a key to
Yeah,
awakening Gozer.
the apartment.
It's that apartment building
Yeah,
that has some kind of significance to it, because when they go and look at like old tech, like books or something, that building was the like used for like worship and like sacrifice and stuff like that.
It was constructed, I think, by they say the dude's name, but I think
Yeah.
it was like constructed
Evo Shandor or
yeah,
something like
Evo
that.
Shandor. Yeah, it was constructed for him.
How the hell did you remember his name?
Dude, I've watched this movie so many times.
He makes a brief appearance in the new Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it was like Evo
Oh, yeah.
Shandor, and it was built as like a lightning rod for like
Yeah.
ghosts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was like he worshipped Gozer and built it as a way for them, and then so the two people living in this apartment building get possessed by, I guess it's not even them, Gozer, it's their pets, which are like those dogs.
It's Zool and
Shit.
Zool possesses Dana, and then
There is no Dana. There is only Zool.
only Zool. But who possesses Rick Moranis?
I
Because
don't-
he says Vince Clortho. Vince Clortho. That's it. Yeah,
What a...
because his real name's Louis Tully,
Yeah.
but he keeps saying that his name is Vince Clortho, or Clortho. I forget whichever it is. But
Lord, though.
yeah,
Really crazy names. But yeah, there's, I don't want to say it's like a love triangle because it's not really a love triangle, but Rick Moranis is like hitting on Sigourney Weaver's character, and so is Bill Murray. I think they have a past with each other. Is that, am I making that up?
No, they
Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver. No,
Yeah.
no, they don't have a past. He's trying to like develop a relationship with her.
Okay, yeah, that I must have been conflating it with the second Ghostbusters movie
yes,
where
yes,
she's moved on and they have a past and all this
yes,
shit.
yeah. Yeah, so after we're introduced to all the characters, that's when shit goes down. Sigourney Weaver's character, Dana, I almost forgot her name. She opens her fridge, and it's the gateway to I don't even know,
Another realm,
another world.
to hell or something.
Yeah, wherever Gozer hangs out.
Well, they're ghosts, so presumably in hell.
I guess.
I guess they're a god. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, she opens up her fridge and it's just like a portal. Which great special effects in this film. I'm impressed by especially like the ghosts. Like whenever we first meet Slimer, he's like translucent. He's a puppet, obviously, but he's like
Right.
translucent and like he's literally like throwing shit through himself, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I wonder how they did that.
I have
Should've-
no idea.
I should have looked that up.
Well,
You'll have to ask the professionals at ILM.
Yeah. They know what they're doing.
They do.
yeah,
They really, really do.
very much still holds up.
Oh yeah, it holds up in every way.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, it's very funny. It
If-
still looks great.
if not, better than most things today. Even though they can look more real now, but like the more real it looks, it's almost like it also brings the fake looking factor up. It's a weird thing. Like
Yeah.
it's CG.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a certain charm to the way that they used to do special effects like that in puppetry,
Yeah.
that it really is a lost art, because you can pay anybody to sit at a computer and animate, a 3D model that somebody made up or something that already existed that they bought the model. But I mean, it takes true craftsmen to make, you know, a foam rubber puppet of a ghost and, you know, run it through a bunch of filters, old school filters. You don't just run it through a video filter. You actually have to make glows, lower the translucency. You have to take that whole bit and overlay it on top of other film. So I mean, like, you know, it's a hell of a process that they had to go through back in the day in order to create that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why it's been a while since there's been like a new Henson thing, because like obviously they're not gonna like CGI Muppets or anything like that, but
No.
like it's probably like it's a lot more cost effective if you want to tell a story to just do it in CGI.
Oh,
like that.
certainly.
Yeah.
If they ever CGI Muppets, will know the fucking end of times has come. Because that's like the whole appeal behind the Muppets and like
Yeah.
these special effects is that they're tactile, they're real.
I'm surprised they haven't tried that yet.
I think people would freak the fuck out.
Probably.
I think
Yeah.
that you would just have people like rioting in the streets if like Kermit the Frog was CGI. It would be like Frank Oz would just be like hanging himself in the middle of like a town square or something like that.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's still pretty, I mean, I'm not gonna say young, but he's still pretty like healthy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not old.
I literally.
He was in Knives Out.
Okay.
He was the lawyer.
Okay.
Um
So I thought that he was the grandmother. But that's fun.
but then there obviously the main plot, I guess, is them dealing with Zool and the other one that I don't remember already.
Vincent.
And yeah, and like dealing with Gozer and like uncovering that plot, but also a secondary plot is the EPA coming to them and like wanting to shut them down
I hate that guy.
because they're like, well,
He's in Die Hard. He just plays a scuzzball in like every movie that he's in.
He looks
Okay.
like one. Like.
think about this. This is a completely unregulated business that they're essentially just dumping possibly toxic waste into a sewer line.
They're using nuclear fission reactors strapped to their backs. Like
Exactly. They should all
Like,
be fucking-
they're nuclear accelerators. Like the amount of radiation that they're probably poisoning themselves, along with people that they're helping, is probably not healthy. So I mean, like Walter Peck is not exactly out of line by going after them.
Yeah, exactly. He is a source of reason where in this fantastical shit. Also, he's probably like, this is just a scam. Ghosts aren't fucking real because, you know, there's no proof, I guess, of ghosts
I
being
think
real.
He calls them holograms or something.
Oh yeah,
Doesn't he?
yeah.
Like
He's just like a
you're
denier.
projecting them or something.
Yeah, some kind of he calls it like a light show or some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, look at it from his perspective. That's what I was gonna say. So there could be like irrefutable evidence of like something, like maybe it's crazy, like ghosts exist. Like we'll take that as an example. Irrefutable evidence that ghosts exist. There's still gonna be motherfuckers that are like, yeah, it's all fake. You're full of shit. You know what I mean? Like so.
I mean, not to turn this into one of those debates, but like we have real footage of unidentified flying objects, UFOs from the government, and people still like, nah, that's just some bullshit. I'm not saying it's aliens. I'm just saying like we don't know what it is, but like they still say that like it's not real. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's still people who are like, it's people like that who I find are hilarious. So like, government's lying to us, and then they're like, okay, here, and then they're like, still lying to us.
It's still
like, yeah, okay,
not real. I don't know. Yeah.
So, and I guess he is technically a government agent. I think the EPA is a government agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Environmental Protective Service Agency. But yeah, so that also is just like a source of conflict within the film. Them dealing with that asshole.
My favorite part is when they're at the mayor's office and Bill Murray, he's just like, and Dickless over here.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know why it's so
constantly
funny.
insulting him.
There are two different versions of that interaction because I watched it on AMC one time, and he doesn't say dickless. He says something else,
Huh.
and then it like cuts back, and when the mayor looks at him and he goes, "Is this true?" And he says, "Yes, it's true." And he doesn't say, "This man has no dick." Like he says something else, but it was like shot that way so that it could be put in
Yeah.
like for a lower rating.
And
I
now,
think that film should do more of that instead of just ADRing over like a line,
mhm.
or like completely chopping it out of the movie. They should just like refilm it for PG audiences.
Hold
Or
on, dog won't back in now.
It's just staying in there. He can jump.
Fine.
He can jump back in.
Yeah. Obviously, if they film movies like that, it would cost more money, but it would be funny instead of just like
That and it would just take way more time.
yeah, instead of like the famous like ADRs of like Snakes on a Plane or whatever, where he's like, I'm tired of these
Yeah.
monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. They really
Is that the real
they can
line?
really yeah, that's the televised version of motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. It's like you kind of have to commend whoever like
I mean,
wrote that
that sounds
because
great.
yeah, because it kind of makes sense. Monday to Friday playing monkey fighting. Don't know where the fuck that came from, but
Yeah.
you know, I feel like it also like the first one where you notice it is like in Die Hard or something. Instead of saying "Yippee ki yay, motherfucker," he says some other bullshit.
Yippee ki yay, monkey fighter.
Mother lover. That's what he says.
Mother lover.
Yeah. Yippee ki yay, mother Russia. Maybe that's what it was.
No, he says that in one of the Die Hards because he goes to Russia.
Wow.
Yeah. Jesus
in one of the
Christ.
awful sequels.
Yeah.
At the risk of anybody turning this podcast off, I've never seen Die Hard.
All right, it's a good movie.
I didn't watch it up until a couple of years ago.
Okay.
I watched
Now
it.
it's become a
It's cool.
Christmas staple.
Yeah. A lot of 80s movies are just like, on the one hand, also a Christmas movie. I'm kind of shocked that Ghostbusters isn't somehow a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It takes place during the summer, though, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought there was something weird with that, where like it's supposed to be winter. No, I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, it's in New York, so
Yeah.
it would be hard for it to be winter and there not be snow on the ground.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Maybe fall.
Doesn't really matter, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be sweating my ass off in those jumpsuits.
Oh, those jumpsuits, yeah, and carrying around like 50 pounds or whatever the fuck on their back.
I don't know why it just popped.
Battery.
Why it popped in my head, but the damn scene where it's like the montage of the ghosts attacking or whatever you want to call it, but when Dan Aykroyd is sleeping and the ghost unzips his pants,
Yeah, it
And
gives him a
blows.
blowjob.
like why?
Yeah, what a weird.
I don't know what I can say on YouTube, but we've never been hit with anything. But like, what hooker died and wants to give a ghost blowjob?
Yeah, is it so? That scene has always been kind of weird to me because
Yeah.
after that,
Well-
he falls out of bed and then it shows Egon and like they're like reacting like they're having like I feel like it's a dream that he's having.
It is. No, it is. It is a dream. because like Dan Aykroyd's character is so obsessed with ghosts.
Oh,
Like since this is like his life's work, that like that's what he dreams about is getting blown by a ghost. So,
yeah. I
so
that's
yeah,
what
it's
like
confusing the way that it's shot, but I think it is a dream
Okay.
that he's having.
yeah, I think because at first I always thought that it was just like a ghost was blowing him for whatever reason, and then upon like the rewatch, I was like, that's got to be a dream, right? Just because the way that, because like he falls out of bed and then the other two are reacting weird, like they look like they're having nightmares or something. So I feel like it's just like maybe the existence of like the more ghosts like flooding into the city is like causing them to have nightmares or something, but I don't know. That is a fucking weird scene.
yeah. Honestly, probably the weirdest scene in the whole movie.
Oh, for sure.
And
And
kind,
knowing Dan Aykroyd, he probably was like, "Hey, can we have this scene?" And Ivan Reitman was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Just please."
Because it's
Like
funny.
because no, like Dan Aykroyd's just like obsessed with ghosts.
Mm.
Like that's who he is. Like in real life, he is like essentially Ray.
well,
So
isn't that all the characters kind of?
Harold Ramis wasn't really like Egon. Harold Ramis was, I don't know. Like I guess he kind of was like a dork, more or less, because he always played that character
Yeah.
based on his look. But I mean, you like look at Stripes, look at Ghostbusters, look at shit. I don't really remember what else Harold Ramis was in that was like prominent other than those two movies.
In National Lampoon stuff, I think, but
He was never in it though. He directed the first one and said something from behind the camera, but he was never like in them.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and obviously Bill Murray can be an asshole in real life, or at least that's what I've heard. I've never met him, so I can't say.
I've never heard anything bad about Ernie Hudson.
No, yeah.
No, he's pretty prominent in the con world, I believe.
Oh yeah, he loves doing cons. He really does. Like I think like if he could do conventions for the rest of his life, he'd just be like, hell yeah. If it's got a steady paycheck in it, I'll do whatever you say.
Jesus. See, he's exactly like his character.
Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe they were all exactly like their characters.
That's what Ernie Hudson said whenever he came into audition. They're like, "So we really are liking you for this role. Are you interested?" And he's like, "If it has a steady paycheck,
Put it
Say
in the
whatever
movie.
lines you want.
whatever you want." Oh, Jesus Christ.
Put it in the movie.
Yeah, so obviously acting's great, writing's great, visual effects are great. The music is also really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say Elmer Bernstein did the music for this movie, which I think he also did Stripes. He did like a lot of Ivan Reitman movies. He was like Ivan Reitman's John Williams.
Yeah, the standout obviously being Bustin', but that's not him.
That's Ray Parker Jr. That's
Yeah,
not
that's
Elmer Bernstein.
Yeah. They use that kind of frequently throughout the movie. They use it during that montage, I think. And then what a weird like do you think that he was just approached and they're like, "Hey, we're making a movie about ghosts and capturing them and like killing them. Make a song."
Well,
And he's like,
have,
"Alright."
have either of you ever watched the movies that made us, the Ghostbusters one?
I haven't watched the Ghostbusters
I
one.
don't know if I've sat down.
So-
I've turned it on and fallen asleep.
So they had to shoot basically any part of the movie that involved the word Ghostbusters because it was under copyright for some weird fucking show like the Banana Splits, and it was called Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So it was under like copyright. So they were in the middle of this copyright lawsuit for the name. So every scene that involved the term Ghostbusters had to be shot twice. There was one that was like Ghostbusters and Ghost Stoppers, I want to say it was.
Cool boosting.
Ghoul Stoppers. But I guess like they had to shoot 2 times and it was the scene where the crowd had to chant Ghostbusters, and they shot it both ways, and they did Ghostbusters the second one, and I guess like somebody from legal or something called while they were shooting that, and they could hear them all shouting it in the background, so I guess they like fought even harder to like get the name back, which ultimately they ended up doing. But yeah, they up until that point they had to shoot 2 times for every scene that required the word Ghostbusters, because they had to do the Ghost Stoppers or Ghostbusters.
That must be why the animated show afterwards is called The Real Ghostbusters and not just Ghostbusters.
Yeah, because I think because it was a TV show that it had to have some kind of different connotation than the movie. Because I guess it like depends on the entity that you're using it for. So like if it's a TV show, if there's already a thing that has that name, you can't use it. But if it's a movie, you can fight to get it to work with you because it's not the same thing as what it is.
Yeah, that makes kind of
Copyright dumb.
Well, there's
sense. It's
a
not
reason
dumb.
for it.
Yeah, no, it's a necessary evil.
Mm.
I think we should just talk about the ending of the movie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That I love. I mean, the ending of the movie has like so many great lines. Whenever they're just like, obviously when he's like, if a god, or what's it say?
Are you a god? And he goes,
Yeah.
no. And
The
then she
next-
shoots him.
Yeah, the next time somebody asks you if you're a god, you
say yes.
And then with Ray envisioning the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Oh, Egon. Yeah, that's just
No,
No, it was right.
no, it
was
was Ray.
Yeah.
That's such a great reveal where they're like, where Gozer's is like, you're going to choose the version of whatever it is I come to destroy this place, and they're like, all right, don't think of anything. And he's like, I couldn't help it. I thought about it.
I mean, how do you not think of anything? Like, it's such a crazy statement, actually.
Yeah, because I love whatever it says when Gozer says the choice is made.
Yeah.
They're like, no.
Who?
And then Ray's just like standing there. He's like, what did you do, Ray? It's like I couldn't help it.
Do you think that like I mean, obviously we're not talking about this film, but we see in the newest Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife, that Stay Puft is still a brand. So do you think that what I was gonna say is, do you think that like having their mascot come to life and like wreak havoc on New York City, do you think that like hurt or helped their sales in any way?
I would say it helped. Yeah.
Helped.
I mean, think about it though. Their image literally probably killed people. Like the literal mascot of their thing. I'm sure that people died during that attack. So like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously they're
hey,
affiliated. So
hey, listen, I'm gonna say one thing. People buy guns. A brand of gun kills people, but you don't see the sales going down, do you?
Guns don't have mascots though.
No, but well, some do. But somebody says, "Oh, Glock killed that guy," and he's like, "I'm gonna go out and buy a Glock." Like,
I think the world would be better if each brand of firearm had its own like mascot now.
Cute mascot.
Yeah. Except they'd probably be like, "You're marketing towards children."
I almost said something. I don't know. It's probably whatever. It's morbid. But to your thing about the guy going and buying a gun because he saw it on the news. Well, that fucker works. So I'm going to get that.
Yeah. Somebody probably like just collected a shit ton of Stay Puft merchandise after it came to life and like a kaiju destroyed like part of Central Park.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm gonna collect everything Stay Puft now.
Oh, somebody did, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the world's largest Stay Puft merchandise collector.
Somebody still is.
So
they probably sell jars of like the exploded like goo.
Yeah. They're covered in that like marshmallow fluff bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
It was shaving cream.
Yeah. You can tell it's shaving cream
Oh
because
yeah.
it doesn't have the consistency of
Yeah,
marshmallow in any way.
I think that was in that
Mm.
movie thing.
It's just all spray foam insulation.
Jesus, it's asbestos.
I mean, it was the 80s. They probably had some left over.
This is such a tangent, but there's these like movie trivia thing that I see, and the question was, what were the flakes that like in the Wizard of Oz, the flakes that, or what material did they use to simulate snow in the one scene? And it was like coconut flakes and like, uh shaving cream and all this thing. The answer was asbestos. So they like layered asbestos shavings all over the actors and shit.
Oh my god.
Well, with that movie, I'm sure there was a shit ton of lawsuits filed after
Oh
like
yeah,
they
yeah,
did on that movie.
definitely. I
Christ.
mean, the Tin Man actor died. I don't know if this is true. This is what
It
I've
is
heard.
true. It was
Yeah,
lead paint. He did
yeah,
die of like
he died of
cancer.
lead poisoning because he was covered in that paint.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Whoa.
Jesus Christ, I mean, it was the first ever colored movie, so like you could tell how long ago that was, but holy shit.
My
What was
grandma,
that? 1939, wasn't it?
something like that.
That's a long fucking time ago.
My grandma was 12 and saw it in a theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Clearly the standards and practices are not what they used or what they once were. They're
Yeah.
implemented more.
What they once was.
Yeah. As we stand and talk amidst Alec Baldwin possibly going to prison.
Is he actually going to prison now?
I read earlier today that it's likely that he'll be charged with involuntary manslaughter for what happened.
Oh my god.
So I don't know what
I
that
don't-
means, but
It means that he'll go to prison.
I'm not a lawyer, so I can't say.
I mean, if I was his lawyer, I'd be fighting like, he didn't load the gun.
Yeah.
He's an actor.
So anyway,
He was given a prop that somebody else was in charge of loading blanks into.
Yeah.
Like, it's not his fault. I'm sorry.
I agree with that sentiment. But anyway, do we have much else to say about the first Ghostbusters?
Well, they defeat Gozer,
Yeah, obviously.
Who
we
took-
defeat Gozer.
who took the shape
and
of
Mr. Shaper.
something out, like an 80s female.
I think that's just how
Pop
it
star.
looks.
No, it was David Bowie.
Was it?
No, but it certainly looked like David Bowie.
I know.
I'm pretty sure that's just how Gozer is, because
But
that's how they appear in the newest film.
But wasn't it a female?
Hmm?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, okay.
No. I'm just saying that the costuming overall, like
Yeah.
the hair and everything, looks like David Bowie.
Female Bowie.
Female Bowie.
Male voice, right? I guess it doesn't really matter.
It's
but-
just like a
No,
deep
and
demonic
for
voice.
For years, I thought that it was the woman who voiced E.T. It's not. It's not.
E.T.
I literally was just talking about that movie the other day.
Actually, the woman who voiced E.T. also voiced Bausch, the bounty hunter, in Return of the Jedi.
Oh. I have no idea which
The
one
same
that
one.
is.
The one who brings in Chewbacca.
Ah. Okay. Yeah.
The one that Leia kills and like uses the mask to break Han out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, let's talk about Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I think it's time to rate the first film. So,
I'll go first because I guess that's what we kind of do. I don't know. I'm gonna go. I mean, this is one of those ones I've watched. I mean, it might be second behind Back to the Future on times watched.
mhm.
I wish there was a counter now that we're in the streaming world. But I'm gonna go 9 out of 10. I think it's probably one of the more iconic films in history, at least in like the science fiction side of things. And it's greatly written and acted and all that good jazz that we already talked about.
I mean, it's almost a perfect movie, as close as you can get to being one. So, yeah, I'll say 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, it's great. As you said, Mike, it's I think it is timeless, and it will remain timeless for, ad nauseum time to come because of just how well it's written and acted and directed and all that. So
I'm gonna echo the 9.5. It is a classic. And yeah, everything that we talked about, it's one of those that they should really do an all-female reboot. I think that would go over quite well.
Oh, didn't I say all three of them? Didn't I recommend all three of them?
there's 4 movies, Mike.
Yeah, there's 4 total.
I know.
I only ever watched the reboot once, and I will never watch it again.
Until
bad.
I never saw that version.
Really?
Yeah, I never saw it.
You're not missing out on anything. I can tell you right now.
We're gonna watch that and the Monsters.
Well,
Christ.
it's on to the sequel of Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2. I guess it's this hand, ain't it? Doesn't really matter. But
my camera's reversed, so I don't know.
Bust Ghosters. So we join our team of Ghostbusters. Does it say how many years afterwards?
5, I believe.
5 years afterwards, and yeah, they're essentially out of business. I don't know if they were just like so good at ghost busting that there aren't any more ghosts to bust, but they've basically just been relegated to like
people. From what I understand, people still didn't believe that was real because once Gozer was defeated, that was what was causing all the paranormal activity. So like it all just went away. So they thought they were hacks, just like what the EPA guy was saying.
Yeah. So they're relegated to children's birthday parties, like singing songs, and and the kids aren't even like interested in them showing up. They'd rather have a clown or some shit.
Yeah.
My dad said you were full of shit, or whatever the kid says.
Yeah.
So I will say this. I rewatched Ghostbusters 2 not too long ago. And the first time I had ever watched it, I did not like it. Like compared to the first one, I did not like it. And after rewatching it, I think that it is actually a pretty good sequel. Like people give it a lot of crap, but I think it's a pretty good sequel.
I think it's pretty good too.
It's actually kind of why I wanted to pick the second one as well as the first, because I've watched reviews and I didn't know this like growing up and until like last year sometime, but like there are people that absolutely despise this sequel.
I don't understand it because like I was one of those people, and then I rewatched it and I was like, this isn't bad.
Yeah, I don't have any like information. Like I don't remember exactly what all they were saying about it, but they absolutely hate this movie. Like I don't think it's not nearly as good as the first one, but
maybe
it's still fun.
They feel that way because it's kind of just doing the same thing again. Because like obviously, like I don't remember the character's name. Dana.
Yeah.
She's split with Bill Murray, and she's had a baby, and that's like so like their plot is like they're trying to reconnect and all that shit again. So it's like, okay, well we saw this already. And then it's another thing where it's like another ancient like Vigo the Carpathian. He's not a god or anything, I don't think, but he's like an evil spirit, and he's the one bringing all the ghosts back. Or is it the negative energy pool underneath the fucking city?
There's not really any ghosts, are there?
I think that
maybe
like
Slimer comes back. We see Slimer, but
Yeah.
Um,
Is Slimer the only other ghost besides Vigo the Carpathian?
I don't remember them actually fighting any ghosts other than
Well, maybe
Vigo.
that's why, because they don't fight any fucking. No, because is the electric chair guys? Is that in this movie or is that in the first movie?
Oh yeah, that is this movie. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's those guys, and then there's some, and then there's like the train car that
All
is
right.
like or whatever. You know, that's
Yeah.
ghostly or
I
whatever.
guess ghosts do come out of the negative energy of the slime or ooze.
Yeah. I feel like people don't because it's kind of like redoing like we're treading the same path, and then I think for some reason people don't like the slime
Yeah.
river, and people really don't like whenever they bring the the Statue of Liberty to life.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I feel like that's a big problem with people.
why?
I don't
Gets
know.
to kick
'Cause
some ass.
it's kind of silly. Like
It is.
it's like at least in the first film, the huge supernatural thing happened by the power of the god that was like creating it.
Okay.
But in
yeah.
this one, they're like, we're going to repositize the negative ooze into good ooze and spray it all over the Statue of Liberty, and it's gonna be able to walk around. Like, it's a little fucking silly.
Okay. You got that one.
It's still better than the reboot.
I was gonna say that doesn't necessarily bother me, but it
Yeah.
is silly.
It is silly. Yeah, I don't know. I like all the used stuff. As a kid, I really liked the Titanic movie. Which movie is it that the Titanic shows up? And they're like, better late than never.
I think it's this one.
Is it this one? I always forget which one it's even in. But that was like my
That's a good
favorite
note.
scene. It was my favorite scene as a kid. 'Cause I love the Titanic.
I've never watched the Titanic.
Jesus.
Neither have I.
God damn.
But yeah,
It's
I
one
think
of the James Cameron movies I elected not to watch.
well, it is fucking 7 hours long.
It's 3. It's not any longer than any of our bullshit now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
True.
it was just long.
It's intimidating because it showed up on 2 cassettes, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, for fucking real. I remember a friend of mine. He had like it was like a double thing, and I was like, "What is this?"
It
And
was
he's like,
on-
"It's
it was on 2
Titanic." And I
discs.
was like, "What?"
It was on 2
Yeah, and
DVDs
people-
too.
Yeah, yeah. Remember when they used to do that? Goodfellas was on a. You had to flip it
Yeah.
halfway through the movie. You had to flip the disc. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
That's crazy that like
Yeah.
technology's evolved to the point where we don't have to do shit like that. Like how much storage space is on a Blu-ray disc is just fucking insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have never seen it. I think my favorite scene in the film is probably whenever they're lowering Ernie Hudson into the fucking like, and they're being harassed by the like local ordnance guys, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
It was Ray. It was Ray being
Oh, Ray, yeah.
lowered.
And he's like getting like closer and closer to the ooze. He's like, "Stop me!" He's like freaking out. That's probably my favorite scene in the movie.
Well, I think he's just dangling there, just getting samples, and then the ooze starts to like reach up for him,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's when he starts freaking out, and they're getting harassed by the cops and the actual electrician guy.
Construction workers, yeah.
The
So
phone
good.
lines are over there.
Maybe
What did I say to you? The phone lines are over there.
maybe people don't like it because it's not as jokey as the first one.
I don't know. There's funny things, I think.
Yeah, there are certainly funny things, but I don't know. I'm trying to deconstruct why people don't
Yeah,
like
no,
it, really.
I'm not good at doing that, but
Maybe I'm just like I just have a broad range of things that I like, so it's hard for me to see like, well, how can you not like it?
I like most. There's a lot of things that I like and people absolutely despise.
Yeah.
Music, movies, it don't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. So is Dana working at this like art restoration place?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
and then-
it's a side gig because she left the orchestra, or she
Yeah.
what? Well, she didn't leave it, but I don't think it's paying the bills.
Yeah. And so she has this creepy boss who's everybody's trying to fucking hit on Sigourney Weaver the entire throughout these two movies. But yeah, she has this creepy boss that's like trying to like I guess like take her out to dinner or something, and he gets possessed by the painting Vigo of Vigo the Carpathian, and is the idea that Vigo's going to possess her son? Is that
Not
the-
possess, like literally take over his body.
yeah, like become him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the whole thing is trying to get her son the entire movie.
Yeah, he tries to Emperor Palpatine, the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly.
That's where they got it.
Well, to be fair, Rise of Skywalker was essentially a Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah. Kind of.
They're trying to stop a ghost.
It's a better sequel to the Ghostbusters than the reboot.
Somehow Vigo the Carpathian has returned.
That's right.
Somehow.
Do it, Dana.
Kill me.
I always liked that painting for some reason of that dude.
Really? It actually
Vigo.
creeps me out. I'm actually.
Vigo?
Yeah, I like the painting of Vigo.
I thought that Vigo, and I correct me if I'm wrong, Sean. I thought I looked this up, and I may have been wrong, but I thought that Vigo the Carpathian was the dude who shoots the grenade launcher in Die Hard. The German guy with the long blonde hair, not the one that John McClane fights and hangs, not the one that Al Powell shoots at the end. The other one, the older looking one.
Yeah, I think it is.
I can't remember. I looked it up, and I think that it actually is him, which is funny that we were talking about Die Hard, and it loops back because I think that is Vigo the Carpathian.
Yeah.
Let me find it.
I mean, that actor doesn't do anything except his likeness is used in the film.
Yeah. I mean, he's in because he comes to life towards the end, doesn't he?
Yeah, the actor does it, but they dubbed over his lines because he was terrible or something.
Yeah, his entirely broken English.
Yeah, like his English was not very good.
Like David Prowse.
He died in 2004.
Was he in Die Hard?
I'm looking.
So like, imagine David Prowse. Like, he has such an unintimidating voice, and he's like, "They're gonna use my fucking voice," and then you show up to the
like little nope.
Yeah, he played.
show up to the premiere.
Oh, man.
He plays James in Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought that was him because I kept looking at him and I was like, "That's got to be Vigo the Carpathian."
Indeed, it was.
Interesting how we.
It's hard to miss actor. He is very recognizable.
I feel like there's like quite a few actors like that henchman guy who is also in Die Hard, the Asian guy.
Yep.
Who's like balding on top with the long black hair and the Fu Manchu mustache. He's in like everything, and you know him exactly when you see him.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know exactly.
Actually, there's a documentary about him. Like, he's like the most famous henchman like ever to be played in film.
I know that there's a documentary about actors that are like not named actors but are basically extras. Like, it's called "I Know That Guy" or something like that, where it's
You're
it's
talking
like,
about Al Leong.
Yeah, I think that's his name.
Yeah, I definitely recognize him.
Oh yeah, he's a henchman in like everything.
Yeah.
Like literally everything.
Scorpion King, Lethal Weapon. Oh, he's uncredited in that. Escape from LA, uncredited.
Yep.
He gets a lot of uncredited.
Wang?
Last Action Hero.
Wang's in Escape from LA too.
Yeah. Did we do Escape from LA or just Escape from New York?
Just Escape from New York, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because because I didn't want to do Escape from LA.
I was gonna say thanks for not subjecting us to that.
Clearly
It's not
never
as
seen it.
bad as I remember, but it's still not good.
I mean, what else is there to say about this movie that we haven't already said about the first movie?
I mean, that's
They're
very true. I mean,
they're kind of like, I don't want to take away from the sequel by saying this, but they are kind of the same exact movie. There's only so much you can do with the idea of Ghostbusters, really.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's very formulaic. It's just kind of difficult to create something to catch lightning in a bottle twice.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say they came close to catching lightning in a bottle twice. Like this isn't a bad film in any way. Maybe it's not. There's not as many adult jokes as the first one because kids loved the first one. So
Yeah, maybe
I think
they
that's
suffered from Return of the Jedi syndrome, where
Yeah.
they made it too kid-like.
yeah. No,
like the kids.
I do think that
They-
that's probably one of the biggest parts of why people dislike this one a bit more. Or
Toy
more.
sale.
Oh yeah, definitely toy sales.
Yeah.
That's where they make all the fucking buku bucks.
That's where George Lucas did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Ghostbusters made a lot on.
I mean, they still make merch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I mean, that could be because of the new Ghostbusters movie that came out, but you know, even still,
the current action figures we have at the store is they're kind of the real Ghostbusters style.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. People still buy them.
I know, like, Hasbro does the, like they do with the Star Wars props, like you buy the Hasbro, like the Black Series. They now have one. I don't know if it's through Hasbro Pulse or if it's something different, but they make the Ghostbusters, like the Ecto Wand that
Yeah.
comes attached, and it's like a replica of it.
Did you see the newest movie, Mike? The
Yeah.
Ghostbusters Afterlife?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not.
You didn't?
I watched the ending where, spoilers, Egon's ghost shows up.
I like that scene. I thought it was really well done.
It was really well done because, number one, it looks just like him.
Yeah.
The fact that he doesn't say anything is fantastic because every
Yes.
time that they try to do something with a dead actor or they like AI the voice or something and they try to make the lips move, it's awful. I think that what they did with that scene was very heartfelt and touching and
Yeah.
paid tribute to him without completely sullying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoy that whole movie. I thought Paul Rudd was really fun in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Paul Rudd in general is fun.
He's a fun guy.
One of my
He's
favorite.
immortal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He looks the same in Friends as he does now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he plays Mike, so it's kind of close to me, you know.
And I'm sure that working out for Ant-Man isn't hurting that at all.
Oh yeah, no.
Marvel's like, you're gonna stay in shape for the rest of your life.
He's like,
He's 50
no, I
years
won't."
old.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane. He's like 51 years old. He looks fucking great.
The same thing with Jennifer Aniston. She don't age. Will Smith doesn't age. Just get some little gray in there for a couple of roles, but yeah.
Anyway,
Ghostbusters.
I think that about does it for Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Now let's talk about 3.
The video game.
The video game, yeah.
I like the video game.
I've never actually played it. I've heard
I
that
played
it's
the Wii one.
yeah they've remade it.
Was it the Wii or was it? There was a PlayStation 2 one, and I think the PlayStation 2 one was. It was very
We might
stylized.
not be. Yeah, we might not be thinking of the same one.
Can't remember. Yeah, I think the one I had was just Ghostbusters, the video game.
Yeah.
But there were two different versions of the game. There's one that was a very realistic version, and there's one that was stylized.
I think the real Ghostbusters had a game too.
Probably.
All right, so yeah, it is the one you're talking about, but they like remastered it like 2 years ago,
Oh, okay.
and like it's even better now supposedly.
Oh, wow.
So, and it's
Well.
it's supposedly like essentially the third sequel. Supposedly, I don't know.
And that's the one where you're training as a Ghostbuster, right?
Yeah.
The unofficial.
Yeah, like
third.
like people have dubbed it like this is the third sequel.
Canon.
Well, that's like the Thing, the video game,
Yeah.
because it piggybacks on the movie because they're looking for survivors of the camp, and then you find McCready.
So we do know an answer to the end of the movie.
Yeah,
If-
I mean,
if-
if you go,
If it's canon.
well, actually, if you go by either the comic or the video game, McCready lives in both.
Okay. Interesting.
And I don't think he's a Thing in either of them.
What's that game on? Like, what console?
I think I have it for PS2.
Okay, so it's
I
a
think it was PS2 and Xbox.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
an older one.
yeah. I just didn't know if it was like Super Nintendo, like 16-bit era.
No.
No.
Well, I think it's time for a number to put to
Oh yeah.
2. And for that number, I will say, this is going to sound harsh, but 7.5 out of 10. I still really enjoy it. I think it's an above average movie, but it doesn't have the charm, obviously, that the first one had, because like you said, Aaron, it's hard to capture lightning in a bottle twice. So yeah, it's I still think it's a fine movie. It's above average, but I would much rather go back and watch the first one anytime rather than watch this one. Even though I think I like Vigo the Carpathian better as a villain than I do Gozer, but that's just me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Vigo is all around just a better villain because, well, number one, he's around the whole movie.
Yeah, you see him more
Gozer
interaction.
shows up at the end, so you know.
That's true. Do you have a number? Or are you just agreeing with his number?
No, I'm gonna piggyback with Sean.
Okay.
I'm gonna echo that 7.5.
Well, surprisingly, you've rated it higher than me. I was just going to go 7.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, like, I don't know. 7's not a bad number. It's above average.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I just think there's a couple things missing, like we kind of said, and yeah,
Excuse me.
7 out of 10.
All right. Well,
One
another
of
one
these
in the
days
books.
We'll get a 10.
I've already given a 10.
Did I?
What one did you give a 10 on?
The Thing?
Oh, yeah, that's right, you did.
I gave a 10 to Back to the Future, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
If
think
not, we
I'm
are
the only one who
solidifying
hasn't given a 10.
your opinion on it now. But yeah, maybe the film that you recommend for us this week will be a 10, Aaron. What is that?
It's my turn.
What
God
is that
damn
movie?
it.
Hold on, let me pull up the list here. Now, I've been holding on to these ones for a while, but it's definitely something that we haven't done. Sean, I know in the past couple years you have sat down and watched them for the first time. We're not going to do all 3 of them, but I've been watching Yellowstone, and it's got me thinking about these movies again, and I want to do The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2.
Oh God.
So you want to talk about long movies, Mike?
Ah,
You're in for a treat.
Aaron said, "I hope you don't have any plans because boom, 6 hours."
There you go. Oh, back to back too.
No plans. I sleep all day. I sleep until 7:30, and then I go to work.
Well, you better find 6 hours to carve out of your time.
Damn.
Uh,
I
and the only reason I'm suggesting 1 and 2 is because, and I've said this to Sean, 1 and 2, if you've ever, which neither of you I know have read the book, but if you ever read the book, The Godfather, movie 1 and movie 2 are like, the second movie has a lot of elements that the book had in flashback type of things that weren't in the first movie. So that's why I like to watch both of these, because both of them on their own is a cohesive story that has a definitive end. So
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but I have not seen these movies. I know dick about this.
Yeah.
they're highly regarded movies.
I know they are. Yeah.
Well-
Honestly, I've been waiting. It's been 3 years since we started this, I think is what that memory said.
Yeah, 3 years.
But I've honestly waited the whole 3 years for somebody to suggest this movie. This is one I get shit for all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, they're good. They're very, very good.
They're good. Well, if you do not want to be spoiled for The Godfather Part 1 and The Godfather Part 2, make sure to watch that enormity of time media before next episode, because we will be having a
Set aside
spoiler.
the whole weekend.
Yeah.
I
Also,
thought I
another
was going to
film
relax this weekend.
yeah, another film where it's like, oh, I can't believe you haven't seen this. But as our friend Mike, not everybody's seen it. I mean, it's an old movie. It came out in the 70s, so like a lot of
72.
old movies, people are like, I don't want to fucking watch an old movie, but it's a good one. Anyway, make sure to watch it before next episode if you don't want to be spoiled. Thank you guys for watching or listening to our discussion about Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I'm sure we enjoyed having it. I know I did. And I guess we will catch you guys in the next one. See you then.